So how do you decide which type of dual income investment property is the right one for you? Now, of course, like any other investment, most of this will come back to a person's own individual circumstances, as well as their long or medium investment strategy. If somebody has their own parcel of land and they're looking to maximize the use on that block of land, then of course they can consider building a duplex or a house and a secondary dwelling, or if it's got rare laneway access, they might consider building a studio above the garage fronting the rear laneway. But most people will look at the first two options, a duplex or a house and a granny flat. So with a duplex, of course, a lot of this again will come back to what's permissible by your local council. First of all, you need to establish whether or not they permit dual occupancy type product. The second question you need to ask is if they do permit dual occupancy type product on your block of land, whether or not your block of land is suitable to build a duplex, whether it's physically suitable, that is to say. And then the next question is whether or not you are able to subdivide the units. So some councils will permit you to build a duplex, but not necessarily allow you to subdivide. So what you end up with are two units under the one title. Now, while this can be advantageous in the sense that you will still have two incomes being produced from the one parcel of land, or whether you choose to live in one, you'll have a separate source of income coming through to you. Where it becomes a little bit more challenging is when it comes time to sell the units. You will have to sell both units under the one property title. Then, of course, you can also look at doing something that's more cost effective, which is building a granny flat or a studio. So the costs to build, let's say, a 2-bedroom granny flat will be far less, of course, than building a duplex. And again, this will produce a separate source of income, which will boost your rental yield and, of course, negate vacancy periods on the property. If you're looking to develop a site, well, again, you'll have the same concerns. If part of your long-term strategy is to build a duplex with the aim of being able to subdivide and perhaps sell one of the units on completion and then hold on to the second unit for, let's say, a 10 or 20-year period, well, naturally, you'll need to make sure that whatever block of land that you choose, that you're able to subdivide and create two separate titles. And of course, you can still, if, for example, it's not physically possible to get a duplex to work on a block of land, you can still look at building a primary dwelling plus a secondary dwelling in the form of the granny flat. And again, the cost implications for something like that would be much less than doing a development in the form of a duplex. And again, you still get a boost to your rental yield. And oftentimes, this can be the difference between achieving average rental yields of 2 to 3% to as much as 5.5 or 6 to 8%.